Start. Sir, I was really pained a little when it was sought to be made out as if we are trying to tie ourselves too much to one country, and in this connection, the name of the USSR was mentioned. I would like to say very categorically that in the matter of increasing our defense potential to meet our requirements, I have no inhibition of any kind whatsoever. I am prepared to get the equipment from any source if it suits our requirements and if the terms are reasonable and if it does not in any way affect our freedom of action. But as a realist, I can not ask the moon countries who are not interested in supplying the equipment to me. I cannot enter into any running arguments with them, and I cannot say that they must give me the equipment because I do not want to go to one country. This does not cut any ice in this rather hot headed international community. After all, when they supply the equipment, they have to look to their own interests and commitments and also several other factors. But in a matter like this, we should not try to belittle the help that we are trying from any country. I would be quite frank in saying that I am grateful to the countries which have supplied equipment to us. We get equipment from West European countries also in addition to the Soviet Union. So it is a wrong impression that is sought to be made or created due to lack of information. It is a matter of historical interest to know that the Soviet Union did help us with certain type of equipment when other countries were not prepared to help us, and if they have helped us, we are grateful to them. But that does not mean that there are any strings attached it. After we get the equipment, we are the masters of it. We are also anxious that we should not depend on any other country because it is not a happy feeling in the mind of any defense minister if he has to depend on outside forces, but we are running against time if there are any pressing requirements that face the country and certain sophisticated type of equipment is essential for the defense of the country, whether it is for the navy, the air force, or the army. Then a decision has to be taken whether we should wait for 5 or 6 years till our production source is developed, or we should fill that gap and require it from abroad from whatever source it is available. I think this august house will readily agree with me that when the requirements are pressing, however, it is desirable to arm your defense forces with the equipment manufactured in your own country. You cannot keep it without the necessary weapons if the indigenous production is likely to take time Para. Now, having said that, I would like to recapitulate what has been stated by several honorable members about the defense requirements of our country and the threat that we face. It is with that background that we can judge as to whether the various arrangements that have been made, the steps that we have taken are reasonably sufficient, are adequate to meet the type of threat that we face. In this connection, I am glad that there has been a noticeable maturity even in assessing the threat to us, as was evidenced by the debate today. Para. Sir, there was a stage when we were prone to take a rather alarmist view, but by and by the country is getting accustomed to the threat that is posed to us, that we face, and we view it in the proper perspective. We do not hit the roof on the slightest pretext. That, I think, is a sign of maturity, a sign of growth, a sign of development, a sign of strength also. If I may add, the threat that we face is from our neighbors Pakistan and China, and we have tried to give that as objectively as we could in our report. Maybe using in the defense ministry, our language has not got that polish and luster which should normally be in a presentation where external relations are involved. Para. The leader of Janasangh made a reference to the Indian Ocean and the withdrawal of the British from that area. That is a matter which has been discussed on the floor of this house, and I have made statements, and the external affairs minister has also made statements. And when I discuss that aspect, I will again restate our position. But I would like to say that our coastal defense and defense of our islands is a very essential part of our overall defense. The withdrawal of the British forces is one aspect. More, I think, a matter of external relations than defense. Our essential defense is defense of our coastal line, defense of our islands. In this connection, I would like to say that we have to approach this subject with a certain measure of confidence. It is true that trade is very important for us, but in case of a real emergency, when we are defending our country, we have to make a careful assessment as to what the minimum resources are in certain essential commodities. We are luckily more or less self sufficient in food now. Most of our internal requirements we can look after ourselves. We can always have enough of stockpiles to keep our machinery going. It has been rightly mentioned that the cost of our navy is somewhat less as compared to that of the air force, or very much less as compared to that of the army. It is correct, and to understand the reasons for it, we have to look at our map and the geopolitical situation. Stop.